Before I get started, I just want to say, buy the games that you want to play right now, or the games you know you're going to want to play eventually. Don't buy video games because you think maybe it'll be an investment or worth some kind of value later on, because most of these are under 10 bucks, so that's not going to happen. Like, most of the time, it's just going to drop and drop and drop forever and not accrue any value. But what's good, internet? My name is Attack Slug, and with this shelf behind me, I get the question often, which games here are the most expensive, rare, valuable, etc. So I gather them all here in front of me, and we're going to break them down and see what in my collection is the most valuable games I own. And all of these prices come from pricecharting.com, eBay, Amazon, for what I have, which are opened CIB, complete in-box video games. So beginning with Clock Tower 3, that goes from 50 to 65, which is not bad for a game that came out in 03. Most of these for the PS2, not worth that at all. And horror games will tend to somewhat, if they're good, retain some value. Now, the game that came out after this, from this team, Haunting Ground, which I had for a long time and I sold 5 years ago, goes for well over 300 these days, and I'm mad I sold it for 100 bucks 5 years ago. But live and learn. Anyhow, moving on. We have Monokemia 2, Fall of Alchemy, goes for between 65 and 75. And if I had the fancy special one, that goes for a lot more. Again, I sold that stuff and kept the game itself. So again, kicking myself on that one. We have a recurring theme in this video, and that is Persona 3. With the art book, with the soundtrack, and that goes between 70 and 80 bucks. But the problem with my copy of Persona 3 is the moron at GameStop, when he opened the case with a box cutter, he cut right here. So that decreases the value just a little bit on that. Not that I would sell it, but unfortunately, damage is accrued on that, and that sucks. That is not the last you'll see of Persona in this video. Next up, the only Xbox game in this video, Spike Out Battle Street, the engine that was the precursor to the Yakuza games. A fine Sega arcade game, goes for around 75 to 80 bucks. And this game, of all the ones that I have in this stack here, perhaps has the lowest print run. But lowest print run does not always mean most valuable. Because look, I got this here for the Vita. This game was a limited run game. It's a very low print run, and is currently on eBay for less than I paid for it. So, you know, don't always count on the low print run to be a market of rarity. Now, moving on to the PSP, one of the all-time great JRPGs, Legend of Hero, Trails in the Sky, first chapter. It's on PC, look at it there, but on PSP goes for $70 to $90, and I love it. Awesome RPG, check it out. And the sequel, and the sequel, and the other games from Falcom up here somewhere. So yeah, get that one. Good stuff. Now, Sakura Wars, So Long My Love on the Wii, the only Wii game in here, goes for $80 to $85, and also fantastic. They put out a brand new Sakura Wars this year, and it was pretty good. So that is fun times. Now, moving into the heavy, we have Apocalypse on the 3DS, goes for between 75 and 100 bucks. And this one does have the pins that came with it. You know, having the extras a lot of time on your complete in-box makes it complete in-box. And of course, the special edition of the actual SMT4 goes for around 80 to 100 bucks here with the soundtrack and the art book and all that stuff. Games on 3DS are definitely popping up lately, a lot higher than they were last year. Honestly, a lot of games lately, this whole COVID thing is making the values on old games jump, jump, jump. Now, PS2, we have an all-time cult classic, Mr. Mosquito. I love this game, right? This goes for between 80 and 100 bucks. The sequel that only came out in Japan, I do own behind me, nowhere near as much. And other games from this Fresh Games label, nowhere near as much. But this one, almost 100 bucks, and it is awesome. Now, the one game I have on the Vita that is valuable here is Danganronpa V3. Vita means life, and this life is between 85 and 100 bucks. And great game, and the end of the series. They'll probably make more, but that's the true end of the series, if you actually play that game. It's awesome. Now, we have another PS2 cult classic. We have Shulip. PS, go get Moon on the Switch. Same people made this game. It's awesome, and it goes for between 85 and 100 bucks. Okay, back into the SMT-ness, Devil Survivor Overclocked on the 3DS goes for between 90 and 100 bucks, and also the sequel, Record Breaker, goes between $100 and $110 with the soundtrack and the decals. And funny enough, the DS versions of these, the original versions, don't go for nearly as much, but on 3DS, the extra versions do go for a bit of change. Now, we have, continuing 3DS, the Corpse Party Back to School Edition with the little minifig things in there goes for between 100 and 120 bucks. I haven't actually played this version of the game because the original release was on the PSP digital only. And certainly I bought it and played it, but I wanted to have an actual physical copy of this game, so I bought this one on 3DS, and the price just keeps going up, so cool. Alright, now, PS2, back on track with Steambot Chronicles, which goes for $100 to $125 US, and funny enough, a lot of times the domestic English release goes for way more than the import. This is like 40 or 50 bucks. This is like 100 plus. So, English, it helps. Now then, other games from this studio, I have Disaster Report, Raw Danger, R-Type, don't go for anywhere near that price for that game. Back into SMT land. Perhaps you're noticing a pattern here at a certain point. Devil Summoner Soul Hackers, a PS1 Saturn port onto the 3DS, goes for $120 to $150 out there with the box and the soundtrack. A little bit of damage here on the box, but these things happen. It's cardboard. What are you gonna do? Moving on, we have the original Persona on the PSP. That is $130 to $140 on price charting eBay, Amazon, etc. Now, one game in here that I don't know the proper value of. I've only seen one auction for it, and it sold for about 130 bucks. The Telltale Store release of Jurassic Park, the game, Deluxe Edition for the PC came with such things as an InGen staff thing, a map of the park, an InGen field guide, a patch, a letter from the CEO, John Hammond, a copy of the game. The game, not very good, but this particular InGen box deluxe thing is, I've seen, very, very hard to find, very rare. I obviously had to get mine years and years ago, so I don't know what the actual value is, but it sold for 130. I saw it in an auction from like Germany, so I have no idea, but I'm not selling mine because I love Jurassic Park. Moving on, we have Persona 3 Portable on the PSP, and that goes for $120 to $150 here on eBay. Now, here's the thing with this, right? Awesome game, love it. The pre-order bonus was this Junpei hat. The hat itself, had it been not worn by me for the past like 10 years, would be worth like 140 bucks plus. But mine has been well worn, fantastic hat, love it, but been wearing it, so that value drops quite a bit. Gonna keep wearing it, can't stop me. Now then, we have, continuing on, Persona 2 Innocent Sin for the PSP, and that is $120 to $140 in value with the, obviously, the mini soundtrack and all that stuff. Continuing with the SMT theme here, you've noticed, Devil Summoner 1 on the PS2 goes for $130 to $160. And you'll see the sequel here in a minute or so. The only Gamecube game here on the list, we have Chibi Robo. And the only good Chibi Robo game is the original. That goes for between 150 and 200 bucks. Now, there are other rare GameCube games. I used to have Cubivore back in the day. That thing, I sold it for 100 bucks, again, 5 years ago. It is now between 300 and 400, and I wish I didn't sell it back when I did, but hey, bills gotta get paid at some point. So, back to Falcom. We have Ys, the Oath in Felghana Premium Edition, with the calendar, the whatever else is in this box, I have no idea. But awesome game, love the Ys series, between 150 and 200. And right after that, we have Ys 1 and 2 Chronicles, which goes for between 170 and 200, with the soundtrack CD and all of that in the premium box. Love Ys, great series. Ys 7 was a bit too long for me, but hey, Ys 8 is coming soon, can't wait. So, we're almost at the end here of this list. We have Devil Summoner 2. The prices on this one kind of fluctuate a bit, but I have it with the Raiho plush in the box. This, I think, sold for about 50 bucks back in the day when it came out, and now goes for between 150 and 170. I've seen it go for as low as 100 and as high as 300, so honestly, it's all over the damn place with this plush and this game. We're on our final two. My final two most valuable games that I own in my collection. Persona 2. What a surprise! Persona 2 Eternal Punishment for the PS1. Now, funny story, this is not the original release, which would have been in 2000. I bought this game new in 05 because there was a site called GameQuest Direct, and they did reprints, like exact replica reprints. You can't tell, this is not an original release. So I bought this for 40 bucks back in 05. And it is pristine, and it goes for between 250 and 300. When they did this reprint, it was 190 on eBay. That helped the prices go down and then back up again, so yeah. And of course, my name is Attack Slug, so you should already know the most valuable game in my collection is an authentic copy of Earthbound on the Super Nintendo. Loose, cart only, $250, if you're lucky, right? But, I also have the authentic big box, and that between $400 and $500 for this box with the sticker. This store does not exist anymore, right? Problem, I don't have the player's guide. I had the player's guide. My sister kind of lost it at a certain point over the years. This came out in like 94, 95, so things happen. But I still have the game and the box. Most valuable thing I have in my collection. I'm Attack Slug. I'm never going to sell it. That's never going to happen. But also, eBay. Beware of repros, replicas. This is authentic. I bought this with my own money back in the 90s. It's a me. It's Attack Slug. So, there you go. My most valuable games in my collection, in all of this room here. I have other things that are worth some money. My Panasonic Q is worth a bit. And, you know, other various bits and bobs here that have accrued value. But again, don't buy it because you think it's going to be worth money. At that point, play the stock market. Like, it's just as risky. Buy it because you want to play it. Because these games in front of me here are worth more combined than all these behind me here combined easily. So, yeah. I'm Attack Slug. Thanks for watching. Video effing games. Play them. Love them. Live them. I'll see you next time right here. And I'm out.